Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're going to set up the Zoeller M53 for a sump pump inside of Crawlspace tomorrow. We're also going to set the pit up and show you the basics because this is something the homeowner can do and it really is not that hard to do. This is a Zoeller M53. It's called a Mighty Mate. Cost on this, depending on where you get it, anywhere from $150 to $170. And what I like about the Zoeller is that it's got a single pole switch. As water rises inside the sump pit, float comes up, kicks on the pump. As water goes down, turns off the pump. Really nice situation here. This is a third of a horsepower, pumps about 60 gallons a minute, which is a lot of water. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. Start with a male threaded 1.5" adapter that screws into the discharge port. We just screw it on there hand tight, real simple. Next, we're going to use some PVC cement, some glue. We cut off a small piece of PVC, about 8 to 10 inches, just to get above this bar. That way, when we put our check valve on here, it's out of the way of the operation of the pump, but yet it's still within inside the sump pit. You could put it up here above the sump pit. I like to keep things inside the pit, keep it nice and secure. So let's go ahead and glue that up. PVC cement sets up really quick. Push and hold. Once it dries, it's solid. It only takes a few seconds. That's on there really secure. Remember to put your glue away because you don't want to spill it. The check valve is a valve that only allows water to flow one direction. Most check valves have a little arrow. You can see it right here. You see that little arrow? That tells you the direction of water flow. Check valves are held in place with rubber no-hub bands. And this is a flexible rubber, but it's quite strong. Probably lasts 50 years. Those are held on with no-hub, with stainless steel clamps. So we want to put a clamp on the bottom. Make sure your arrow is pointing upwards. Put your check valve on. Then we're going to secure these clamps with a 5/16 inch nut driver, just using your drill, just as tight as your drill can make it. And that's really strong. I mean, you can see it won't come off of there. The second clamp's going to go on when we put the riser on there. The riser will be the pipe, the discharge pipe. As that pipe comes up out of the pit, it comes and goes through the foundation wall. That's also secured with the no-hub. One thing that most pump manufacturers recommend is that you drill a 3/16 inch hole for a pressure relief. So we're going to drill that. Just a tiny little hole, but I want to show you something about the Zoeller. You can see they've already incorporated the pressure relief. Even though they still recommend you put one here, the Zoeller pump already has one. Zoeller pump M53 model already has a pressure relief built in from the factory, but we still went ahead and put, our own pressure relief in here because they recommend it as well. So basically, in less than just a few minutes, your sump pump's ready to go. It's going to sit inside the pit. A few things that we need to do for our sump pit to get it ready. This is a standard sump basin, sump liner, sump pit. It's about 26 inches deep and holds about, I think it holds 30 gallons of water, 32 gallons of water. because we're sitting in a crawl space, I like to go ahead and drill holes in the bottom. The reason why is that when a big rain comes, water comes down the footer tiles, your French drain, and comes into the pit. A lot of water drops down underneath. It could rush underneath of there and float this pit upwards like a boat. So, to solve that problem, we just drill a few holes in the bottom. These holes will help relieve some of that water if it rushes in too quickly so that the pit doesn't float upwards. In a basement, when you pour concrete back over and around your pit, this is not necessary to do. Next, because we're adding perimeter tiles, we're going to go ahead and cut these nipples off. One on each side. This allows your footer tile, your perimeter tile, to drain into your pit like this. This is perforated pipe with holes in it. It's going to be surrounded by gravel, and it's going to fit on both sides. This will go, around the base or the crawl space this way, and of course, this will go around the crawl space that way. All the water comes into the sump pit. So this is ready to go for tomorrow. We do have a solid lid cover. This is going to be placed on the top of that. Solid lid cover available at most Lowe's. Otherwise you get one that's already got this piece cut out. These are called knockouts. And basically this is a 2-inch knockout. You can take a hammer and hit it really hard. It'll pop out. But I just use a hole saw and drill this out. Our discharge pipe will come right up out of here. Remember, it sits this way. Our discharge pipe will come right up out of there. You can leave your extension cord or your power cord come up here. I usually drill another hole right beside it for the power as well, or use another knockout. You can use any of these knockouts. You can even cut this piece out. Again, they do come out with a hammer, but it is kind of difficult. A hole saw works a lot better. The pump's going to sit down in the pit. You'll have a riser come up. You're going to core through your wall. You don't necessarily have to have a lid, but sure makes it nice. These are solid lid covers. They are available at Lowe's. It just slides in and then you twist and lock it, and it's all set up. So we're ready to go ahead and install this tomorrow. We'll give you the video of that as well. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Save some money too.